WTIM. Welcome in to the WTIM, your information station. It's time now for the WTIM morning show. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host. Today we are joined by Pam Moses, co-coordinator for the Taylorville Food Pantry, and Brooke Dunn, public relations manager for the Central Illinois Food Bank. Let's thank our sponsors that make this show possible: People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. Ladies, how are we doing today?
Fantastic.
Great. How are you?
I'm doing super well. I thank both of you for joining me in the studio today. We're always talking about important things when it comes to food banks and food pantries. Ms. Moses, we're going to start with you. Generally, how's everything been going on over there at the Taylorville Food Pantry? What do you got to report?
As usual, busy, record numbers, another month of over 500 families. I think that's 6 months in a row at this point. So we are continuing to push for the same push. So wanted to set the record straight if we could and start right out of the gates here in honoring the collective work of the TMA. I know there was an interview, I think a week or so ago, or about the red kettle distributions and the food pantry taking a backseat to those funds. And we just wanted to point out that things, just to straighten, I guess, that out, the TMA had determined to take the funds to the Emergency Assistant Ministry due to their limited avenues of resources, not because the food pantry didn't have a need, but because their options were very limited on where they get funds on an annual basis. The food pantry is continuing and will continue to source donations of funds, food, volunteers, to honor our work in feeding the record numbers that we've seen at the Taylorville Food Pantry that continue. So I just want to kind of straighten that out, that we are always looking for donations, and there's definitely a need.
Right. To anyone out there that thought, hey, the Taylorville Food Pantry will be stocked with fresh food here on out, that's just not true, and it won't be true. So Ms. Pam Moses, thank you for clearing that up. And I think part of my thinking during that was, wow, Taylorville Food Pantry does have a lot of avenues in donations in terms of all of the grocery stores, but never are you to be turning away donations from the public and to be deterring them from volunteering their time and to bring in donations of food and monetary donations, of course. So yes, thank you for doing that. Anything else on that front?
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, being good stewards of our funding is increasingly important with the record numbers that we are seeing. And that's, something we don't take lightly. Right. We're always trying to find the best value for our buck and to be able to stretch those dollars as far as we can to help as many people as we can.
Without a doubt. 500 families, you said maybe around 6 months in a row going now. Brooke, you mentioned a report that just recently came out. You've kind of been seeing these numbers throughout the state.
Yeah, absolutely. It is certainly reflecting in the pantries that we work with. But the latest USDA report reflects a 40% increase in need. And that statistic is really sobering. So, we're always going to continue to ask, our neighbors to help the community out in these times. 40% is quite a large jump from last year. So, and I know that the Taylorville Food Pantry is also feeling that on a day-to-day.
Yeah, we got a prime example right here of that growing number right there. A year ago, do you have any idea, an estimate of how many families?
Yeah, we were 275 a year ago. So we've actually doubled. Well more than the 40% USDA says, but even if we go back to 2019, 2020, at that point we were 375, and again the last 6 months we're now averaging about 575. So 200 more families. Yeah, I mean we'll match that 40% more with the USDA for sure.
Pretty easily, and Christian County being supported right here by the Taylorville Food Pantry and other food pantries like it. And, it's kind of been a gradual expansion of families being served to. This has obviously created a need for more volunteers, more food donations. What have people been doing to fill this need?
Well, we just had a great student council donation. They stepped up this year with over 2,500 pounds that came in. That was delivered last week, so we're already putting that out the door. They do that every year. So we usually see one from St. Mary's School as well. And, throughout the year, obviously, we have the food donations from the Scouts. We have the letter carriers. So we see similar ones in years to years, and then we always have just people just come in. Hey, I've got a donation for you, and that's fantastic. Yeah, our address hasn't changed. It's 1429 East Main Cross. We take mail if somebody wants to, mail in donations of monetary. If they want to stop by and drop something off, we're there as well.
All right. And yeah, thank you for getting out that address one more time. And it's really great to hear local organizations getting involved in putting together these larger donation packages, it seems. Brooke, does any local food pantries, they ever come to you saying we need help with local organizations that they're not, stepping up to help like we are lucky enough to have in Taylorville? Do they ever come to you with these questions? How can we get more donations moving in our food pantry?
Well, I think we are super blessed in the network that we have. However, we're always looking for new and creative ways to help pantries. So there are, depending on the area, there are certain areas where maybe they aren't as involved in the community, and we certainly will help, make those connections if we have them. But yeah, so we've had, even in the Springfield area, we've had great donations recently. So, UIS recently did their trick or treat for canned goods, and they collected, I believe, just under like 6,000 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's just from walking up to people's doorsteps and asking for food. So, we have a great network. We had UIS, we had the Fill the Trailer food drive recently from, local football teams. So usually, the community really wants to support pantries. However, we're always trying to help pantries if they are struggling in that way.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for that perfect example right there. The recent trick-or-treating for canned goods. And that's really awesome right there. And it's things like that kind of remind me of a Taylorville initiative right there.
Right.
Does Taylorville Food Pantry do anything for Halloween?
We don't, no. But I should have mentioned Kiwanis and this the radio station. They set out here, I think, 3 different months in the spring, like maybe May, July, and September. And they sit right out in front of the radio station collecting goods for us as well. And, that's a great help.
Those drive-through donation days always make me happy because that'll be on a regular Saturday where I'm working, and we get to interview people from Kiwanis Club. We talk about monetary food and donations and where they go, and you can't remind people enough about the great things happening at the Taylorville Food Pantry and the constant work, constant efforts. For the rest of this first half here, I'd like to stay on Taylorville Food Pantry before we move on to fun holiday events and interesting things to know about the holiday season coming up. So within Taylorville Food Pantry, Ms. Pam Moses, can we get out those dates and times? Families struggling to put food on the table for their family, if they need to come in to use your services, what days?
Absolutely. We're still open on Tuesday mornings from 8:30 to 10 a.m. We're open Thursday evenings from 5:30 to 7 p.m. And then on Saturday mornings again from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m.
All right, easy. And as always, if I want to volunteer, what do I got to do?
Show up.
Show up. Just show up. Give your effort. Give your best effort. It'll be more than a nobody standing there. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot better to volunteer your time than to not, I would say. Miss Brooke Dunn, anything new with Central Illinois Food Bank that we need to know? Any volunteers going on over there? What's going on over there?
Yeah, we've had a lot of, great donations. So we're always looking for volunteers. You can go on our website, centralislefoodbank.org. You can also check out our Facebook, Central Illinois Food Bank. But yes, with the holiday season, we get a lot of more donations in. People are very kind during this time of year, as they are throughout the whole year. But, we're always looking for extra volunteers to help fill this need during this time of year.
Sure. It's good to hear that volunteering goes up during this holiday season because struggling families also tends to go up during this tough time of year. But we got people like you guys around town that are helping supply families with food to give their children and their family for the all months of the year. We're sitting down right now with Pam Moses, co-coordinator for the Taylorville Food Pantry, and Brooke Dunn, public relations manager for the Central Illinois Food Bank. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM morning show. When we come back, we'll talk about some holiday events coming up for both the Central Illinois Food Bank and the Taylorville Food Pantry. You'll be right back here on the WTIM morning show.
Your information station, WTIM.
This is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. Are you looking for a great CD rate? If you are, TCCU has a new CD special that is just what you are looking for. We are currently offering a 7-month share certificate with an annual percentage yield of 5.05% and a minimum deposit of $1,000. This great rate is for a limited time. For more information, please contact us at any of our convenient locations or online at tccu.org. Dividends will be compounded monthly. A penalty for early withdrawal may be imposed. Fees could reduce earnings on the account. Member NCUA.
The Shelby County Economic Development Corporation aims to foster, promote, and stimulate economic development, from keeping existing industry and retail businesses successful and thriving to attracting new investment in Shelby County. The Shelby County Economic Development Corporation is here to help your business grow. It also sponsors job fairs to fill positions at existing employers and encourages future entrepreneurs in the Shelby County CEO program. Find out more on the Shelby County Economic Development Corporation by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Hi everyone, Brandon Bible here, your local country financial representative at 1305 West Dresser in Taylorville. Myself, along with my wife Samantha and our assistant Nicole Patrick, are proud to recognize the Tornado student athletes that represent our community by being the exclusive sponsor of WTIM Brandon Bible Country Financial Player of the Game during Tornado sports broadcast this school year. WTIM announcers will select a player at the end of each game who will receive a certificate for being named our player of the game. Good luck to all teams this season, and go Tornadoes.
Hello, Panther fans. This is the voice of the Eastern Illinois University Panthers, Mike Brad, inviting all of our fans in Taylorville, Shelbyville, Effingham, and Eastern Illinois to listen for Panther football on your information station, WTIM, on its many platforms on AM, FM, and online. Hear the Panthers as they compete in the Ohio Valley Conference. Follow the Panthers this season on your information station, WTIM, on AM, FM, and online.
AM radio provides always-on news, sports, talk, traffic, and weather reports. And it's also a vital service that provides important emergency information when your community needs it most. Tell Congress you need AM radio to stay in your car. Because when cell phones and the internet are down, this free emergency service is critical. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress we need AM radio in cars.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
This is Jenny Turvey, manager of Rolling Meadows Senior Living in Taylorville. To learn more about our apartments, click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Jansen's Heating and Air is the home of Dr. Comfort, focusing on customer care for heating and air conditioning across Central Illinois for some 35 years. Find out their services, specials, and coupons by clicking their icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm your host, Tim Zalabak. Today we're sitting down with Pam Moses, co-coordinator for the Taylorville Food Pantry, and Brooke Dunn, public relations manager for the Central Illinois Food Bank. For that first half, we really talked about the importance of volunteering, donating to your local food pantry, and all the operations going on within the Taylorville Food Pantry and Central Illinois Food Bank. For the second half, there are some holiday things to be aware of, especially for the Taylorville Food Pantry. Miss Pam Moses, what do we need to know about this upcoming Thanksgiving season?
Well, this year we're a little bit different on our Thanksgiving distribution. We're teaming up with the Taylorville Police Department. The last few years, they've done their thing, we've done ours. So this year we decided we should probably come together and do it together. So we're outsourcing both food and fund donations so we can try to give out a holiday meal, basically. Our plan is to start that the Thursday before Thanksgiving, if all goes well. The normal Thanksgiving, whether it's ham or turkey, we're hoping to get, or small Cornish hens, ducks, whatever, maybe even a pork loin, whatever it might be. Smaller families obviously don't need a great big turkey, but and then of course all the fixins. And I think Brooke has a comprehensive list over here, but that's what we're planning on doing, and we're outsourcing for that right now.
I love the combination there. Why not, right? It's all going towards a good cause right there. And Brooke, we'd love to have you read off, get all of our minds going here of all the things that can be donated. Go ahead with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So for the season, we're looking for things like cranberry sauce, canned yams, instant stuffing, boxed mashed potatoes, canned vegetables, low sodium chicken broth, Jell-O, cornbread mix, canned fruit, boxed mac and cheese, and all things Thanksgiving, everything that you guys like to enjoy, our neighbors want to enjoy that too. So anything for the holidays to support families would be great.
That's a great list right there. I was thinking about a few, and they all got listed right there. And it's an interesting time for food pantries, I think, because now you can really be specific on what you buy, and you can actually buy something and know that it's going to feed a family on a special night like Thanksgiving. That's a really important time to have a full family meal. Ms. Pam Moses, you give extra efforts every Thanksgiving. Is this normal to have send out the call for extra donations on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some local businesses in town that year after year that have given, some meat and things like that. And then we try to supplement it with everything else. So one year we had them lined up all the way down Route 29 down here to the radio station. I think that brought the local police out. So maybe it's a good thing we're doing it with them together. So
yeah, hopefully they'll bring extra traffic, and there'll be some coordinators there helping out with traffic. You'll have the TPD involved. That's really great. How'd that conversation go? Like, hey, let's combine this. Our efforts are probably better together, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have to thank Amy Hagan, the other co-coordinator, and Officer Beeman for that. They got together on it at the end of last year, really, when it kind of got brought forth that we had it going on both directions, and they've had multiple conversations leading up to the holiday. And so here we are trying to do it combined.
That's awesome. And I love hearing about those coordination efforts happening directly after last year. These are long-standing and a lot of coordination going on there. So we thank the Taylorville Police Department for getting on board with that this year. It's looks like it's going to be a very fruitful effort right there from everyone involved. A Central Illinois Food Bank, anything going on for Thanksgiving with you guys? Are there extra needs of support?
For the season, yes, we're always looking for volunteers. We're going to have some events coming up. If you check out our Facebook, Central Illinois Food Bank. But yeah, we'll have details on there. But right now we're, still looking for volunteers, donations for food, monetary donations. You can always make online at our website, centralilefoodbank.org. But, the season can be really challenging for families. Hunger is still with us 365 days a year, but it can be a really hard and emotional time for families. And the last thing we want is for people to not be able to focus on the joy of the season and to get to enjoy time with their family and instead focus on hunger. So that's really, we want to help families have, a good, hearty Thanksgiving and Christmas meal.
You bring up something really interesting right there, that when I and you guys probably were lucky enough to think of this time of year as, lots of food and, lots of time spent with family and presents, it's not seen like that for so many people out there. They probably think of this time as the opposite. Like, I'm going to be without the great amount of food that these other people have, and probably don't get presents like that. So it's really amazing that you two are always here thinking about that group of people that don't always have the luxury of knowing that there's going to be a big bounty on their table for Thanksgiving. So this it'll be the Thursday before Thanksgiving is when those donations will be going out.
Correct.
Awesome. Okay. And I always like to re-hit on this one, but talk about monetary donations right there. Give me that number that monetary donations will be transferred into food for you guys.
Well, anything that we can get that's already donated at the Central Illinois Food Bank, we're able to get for 19 cents a pound. Wow. So fantastic. A can of corn at 19 cents versus 79 at the local retailer goes a long way for us.
Yeah. And then like $1 can buy you how many pounds of food? You said that one.
Well, if you're in 20, that's 5. I mean,
there you go,
do the math on that
I
one.
did the math, but I'm the radio guy. Okay, I'm not the accountant. That's great. I mean, it's amazing. You mentioned buying in bulk, and that's it right there. It's you get a whole lot more from the Central Illinois Food Bank. That is really awesome. Guys, we're in our last minute here. Last words for our listeners from, we'll start with Pam Moses, Taylorville Food Pantry. What do you want them to know?
Well, first of all, we just want to continue to thank the local community for all that they do for us, because we wouldn't be as successful as we are in being able to help as many families as we do without the support of the community.
Without a doubt.
If you're looking to support the food bank, go to our website, centralilefoodbank.org, or check out our Facebook for more information at Central Illinois Food Bank.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That's Pam Moses, co-coordinator with the Taylorville Food Pantry, and Brooke Dunn, public relations manager for the Central Illinois Food Bank. We'd like to thank our sponsors that make the show possible: People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. My name's Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thank you all for tuning in.
Your information station, WTIM.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.9 W300 EH Payne and Nokomis.